No, I love it when I get to work and my tools are all on another person's bench. I like that. It's fun. I do my best to put tools back when I use them. This is always goes under my bench. Just cleaning up the fingerboard on this one, as I usually do on most of the guitars that I service here on my bench. And we're just getting all the DNA off of it and cleaning up any of the remnants of the polishing compound I used to clean this thing. And I've got rags all around it to help prevent the overspray of this simple green getting all over the guitar and making me have to clean up a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just something I've done over the years, and it seems to help make my job go a little bit easier and a little bit quicker for my clients. This stuff splatters around pretty good with this toothbrush, and it makes kind of a mess on one of these things, and I'm real happy to do it. Hope everybody's having a really great what is it, Tuesday? It's Tuesday today. Tried to go live again last night from home, but I'm still having some audio difficulties, and I'm not really quite sure why. I think that there's, I mean, I'm guessing, but I think there's a problem with my either my PC or my processor in my computer is starting to go, I've done enough. I don't know. A little frustrating, but because it only does it when I go live. If I'm home just playing by myself, everything works great. But the moment I push that live button, I get latency and I get stuttering and glitches as if my buffer is being underrun, I think is what you would call it. Maybe an overrun, I don't know. But I would like to solve that. So this is a Les Paul. Beautiful guitar, very similar to my own Gibson Les Paul. Big difference is that this is, yes, you guessed it, it's an Epiphone. And really beautiful guitar, and kind of cool detail. I talked with the owner of the guitar. Well, I think I talked with the owner's dad yesterday, when before the owner brought it in, and he's a really cool guy, and he lives in my hometown, so that was kind of cool to have that connection. And we both love that city. And I wish I could go back, but the housing deficit and all of that, and the expense of living there has made it impossible for me to move back. I don't know how anyone lives there. I don't know where all this money's coming from, but nonetheless, it was really cool. And the young lady who will be playing this guitar, I don't know if we could call her the owner yet. I think Dad might be giving her some time to either fall in love with guitar playing or maybe decide it's not for her. I don't know. But she is a member of our local college volleyball team, and we have a very successful college volleyball team, and she's a part of it, and really cool to have met her, and really proud of her and her teammates for the success that they're having at the college level of volleyball. And yes, she's pretty tall, so she's definitely got an advantage over a lot of young ladies playing volleyball. I don't know what position she plays. I didn't really even ask about that. I'm just doing this because she's taking some music lessons at the university, and the instructor of that class referred her to us. They refer all of their music students who have a guitar that needs a little bit of work to us, and we're really thankful to them for that. Grabbing some polish. I hope everybody again is having a really great Tuesday. I'm just shining this thing up, getting her all clean. It's been taken really, this instrument has been taken really good care of. We believe it's like a 2003 era Epiphone Les Paul. Epiphone does put the Gibson name, or Gibson does allow Epiphone to put the Gibson name on these, but don't be fooled by that. I don't know if that is a statement of, well, this is a little better quality Epiphone. I'm not sure. This one is a really good guitar. I have not had an opportunity to play it. I will do that very soon. As soon as I can get it strung up and set up, and we'll check it and make sure it's adequate for a young lady to learn to play guitar on. So really excited for this young lady to have this thing back. I'm checking all the hardware and cleaning all the knobs and getting all the guck off of it. It had a couple of little spots up here on the headstock that I wanted to take care of, and lots of dust, of course. And I have, for the most part, cleaned the body of this guitar, and obviously I just cleaned the neck, and I polished the frets yesterday, got that out of the way. So a few other things that we've done on this instrument, I'll just show you down here. We have replaced all of the electronics in it. These are the old pots that came out of it. They were a little glitchy, a little sticky, and I have put new pots in it. And I want you to notice, when I put the knobs back on here, I put them all facing the same direction. I have seen so many guitars get worked on with volume pots that have numbers on them, and the numbers are pointed every which way but the correct way. So this is something I like to do to show that I'm paying attention when I work on one of these things. Now, when this guitar came in, it did have the strings were overwrapped over the tailpiece on this one. So the owner had put the strings through this way and brought them back up over the top of that. Now that's not something that I have done much on my guitars, and that's how the bridge was on it, or the saddles were on it, whereas the screws facing that way. I remember that because I took note of that. That way my intonation should be correct on this when I get it back put back together again. I can see a couple of these saddles are about as far back as they can go, so my hope is that I'm not going to run into an intonation issue, but if I do, I can just swap those around. So we'll do that. Now I got to put some oil on the fingerboard, and then we're going to get to stringing her up. I'm using a new boiled linseed oil. I've been using unboiled linseed oil for many years, but I've heard very good reports of the boiled linseed oil, and I have used it on one of my guitars in the recent weeks, and really like it. So it cures much quicker than the unboiled stuff. Is really the big difference. I don't think there's much else aside from the fact that it does cure on the wood so that it hardens in like 24 hours instead of 48. So, and again, with linseed oil, wipe it on, wipe it off. As you can see, it's definitely a little bit darker in color. This stuff has a bit more of a yellow tint to it than the unboiled linseed oil that I've been using. And so that may color the wood a little bit more. I don't notice a big difference. With wood this dark, it's really hard to see that tiny amount of color difference. So again, I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. I was hoping to do a live stream again last night. I had a really cool guitar, and I did get to play it, but I couldn't live stream properly because I don't want my audio not being perfect. It's not fair to you to have to listen to audio that's glitchy. So I gotta solve that problem, and I'm not sure. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time without any problems, and now I'm having problems. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put new strings on this 10 gauge Ernie Ball slinkies, regular slinkies, and then we are going to do a full setup. I polished the frets yesterday, found a couple frets right here and here, the let's see, 12, 13, 14 to 15. There's a pretty good ding in these right here, and I called the owner of this guitar and they didn't want me to replace those frets. If this were my guitar, I would replace them, but I doubt that the young lady that's going to be learning to play on this guitar is going to be playing in that register anytime soon. And if she does, her dad is well aware that he can bring it back to me and have that problem solved. So we'll see what happens with that. So to get to stringing this baby up. All the hardware on it is in really good shape. It all looks really good. We also replaced the pickup selector switch and did all the soldering under there to get this thing as good as or better than it was new. So again, I'm not going to do the overwrap on the strings. I usually don't string up mine that way. So at this point, I'm going to have to make sure that the strings are not making contact with the back of the saddles here, the bridge. You can call it a bridge. So let's string her up and see what happens here. See how quickly I can string her up. We'll get her done quick. Like I should probably send the owner of this guitar a link to this live stream. What do you think? Let me text him a link to this live stream, so maybe he'd be interested in watching me do this work real quick. So give me a moment here. So I'm also considering moving to using a Macintosh computer at home with all the I know that let's see, if I go to my channel, let's see, go to me, okay, view channel. I know that that I let me see, I need to go here. You gonna go there? Apparently my phone, here's my phone doesn't want to go to the link. Huh. So I can't go, what do I have to go to manage videos? No, let's go live. Maybe if I push, no, I don't even see my managed videos. So I don't know if YouTube is having some, view my channel. Let's see, if I click on that one, that'll let me do it. Now it lets me go there. Let's mute this. Okay, I'm going to just turn the volume down. Safeway Pharmacy is calling me because my prescriptions are ready. I'm very well aware of that. So I don't know if I never accept phone calls from Safeway. Now I'm trying to turn my volume down. Okay, so I'm gonna share. Let's copy link. Okay, so I'm gonna send this gentleman a message. Let him know. Thanks for hanging with me, y'all. I know I'm not doing karaoke and I'm not doing a bunch of just chat and blah blah blah. I'm doing actual work here, so I know that it's not terribly exciting, but hopefully maybe somebody will learn something. Just give me a moment. Live stream. I'm doing setting up. Whoops. Les Paul. There we go. There we go. So maybe he'll want to watch that. I don't know. So again, I might be switching to a Macintosh computer here soon because I'm getting I'm finding out about some amazing musical devices that are available only on Macintosh computers, and I feel like my musical life has become a little bit stagnant. So I think having some new tools at my disposal might encourage or inspire me to become creative once again. I haven't really done anything creative for a while. So, and also with the issues that I've been having with the computer that I have at home, I feel like I'm kind of doing 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because Windows has done all of the same proprietary crud that Macintosh has been doing for, you know, since their inception with their iPhones. And you can't put a, I mean, on a Windows machine, you can definitely put an MP3 on your phone without having to pay to put an MP3 on your phone. But the advantage of having more creative software available that isn't available on a Windows machine right now, and likely won't become available. I'm thinking that a Macintosh might be a good idea. Okay, so we're almost done stringing this up. Hello, Independent United. Thank you for being a moderator on my channel. I really appreciate it. We're doing the world's record string change here. Now, I'm not saying my way is the best way, but I am saying that my way is about the only way that strings should be put on a guitar. You like that? So I don't know if the owner of this guitar will watch this video or be able to attend the live stream. The interval between the G and the B string is a major third. Yeah, should probably recognize it. I know all of my intervals because, like, a perfect fifth is the theme to Superman. Dun, 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 the first two notes. And like the wedding song, dun, 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 that's a perfect fourth. And like the beginning of Oh When, that's a major third, right? So you can learn your what your intervals sound like and memorize them by trying to discover a song. I know it's not in perfect tune, but Stephen, hey brother, long time no see, man. I hope you're doing well. My ear is still working pretty good, brother. I can still almost tune a guitar perfectly without using a tuner. I love it. All right. Thanks y'all for tuning in. How's the repair business going up north there, Mr. Rolfing? You guys, we are in the presence of a very, very, very fine guitar builder. I'm really happy that you've showed up today, Steven, man. It's really cool. You have a really good thing going. And it's rare that we get to be in the presence of greatness like that. He is really fantastic. I don't think he has a, at least you can check out his YouTube channel. I don't know if he's put up a whole lot of videos on there of the beautiful instruments that he builds. But boy, it's some pretty amazing work. I'm fixing instruments so much that I can't build them. I would love to build one, but and we'll get to kind of some of the work that I have coming up and things that I'm in the middle of right now. I don't know how long I'll be live today, but I'm definitely gonna get this thing set up as if it was built at the Gibson custom shop. We're gonna set everything up to specs as if it were my guitar. Here comes the bride, right? And then oh, Oh, when the saints, and then there's the Superman theme. So you can memorize your intervals if that interests you by figuring out a song that they match. Let's see. Tate, hello. Steven, hello. Tate, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping on. Lucy, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, this is a beautiful one. It's a what I would call a heritage cherry burst. Although it's a little bit darker orange in the middle. A cherry burst. I'll show you a true Gibson cherry burst, and we'll do a little color comparison so you can kind of get an idea. Because I have my Gibson Les Paul here. Oh, I'm just spit on this guitar. Good grief, Marshall. Don't do that. Alright. I spit on it. Good grief. Okay. Now, it is also time for me to get some new rags out. I realized that my rags were getting old and dusty, and I don't want to get dust or wood chips on this beautiful guitar. And because inevitably, the finish will get scratched. Yeah. Lucy, thanks for stopping in. Are you a guitar player? Or maybe a vocalist or singer or musician of any kind? Because I not only fix guitars, but I do play guitars. I know there's a lot of luthiers and guys out there that build them that are much following in the paths of like Leo Fender, who wasn't really that much of a guitar player, but boy, he could sure build them. I was trying to see if I could find out. You are a guitar player, Lucy. All right, good for you. I don't know if we've met before. Hello. Thank you for joining my channel. And Tate, I don't know if we've met before either, but I really appreciate you guys stopping in today. My channel is obviously it's been growing very slowly but surely over the years, and I do stuff like this. It's not terribly exciting, but you know, there are things that I think a lot of people could learn about working on their own instruments. It can get really expensive to have a tech like myself work on an instrument. Oh, you play many instruments. Good for you. Yeah, that's cool. I am also a drummer, but I'm primarily a guitar player, and I can tickle the keyboard a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous, but I won't do it in public just because I think the public deserves to hear me play guitar before they hear me play piano, especially if they're paying, right? So let's see. So here we are. We've got the strings on her, and let's tune it back up. Now I'm stretching the strings. And I'm using a snark tuner to do the tune-up on this thing. It's just an easy way to see it. And I'm going to try and keep talking as much as I can so that you guys know what I'm up to. Okay, so we're going to remove the truss rod cover as soon as I find my... There we go. We're going to pull the truss rod cover off of this, and I expect to have to make a truss rod adjustment on this thing because, now here's another kind of something that you should be aware of, especially if you relocate, especially here in the Northwest United States, because you don't have to go very far to go from a very rainforest type environment to a very, very, very dry environment where, you know, the humidity on the west side of the states oftentimes 40 to 45%, whereas here you're lucky to see 20% humidity. And this looks like it has a 4mm hex key. Where's my 4mm hex key? Where are you? Oh, there you are. It might be a 5mm. That's not you. Where are you? Let's see. Is that it? That's not it. Where is my 4mm? I have lost my 4mm. No, I haven't. I'll have to get another. There it is. So I don't know if this is a 4mm or a 5mm hex key. Let's just check it real quick. It is a 4mm hex key. So what I'm doing is I'm leveling the fingerboard real quick. We'll check to make sure that the fingerboard is level. And again, I hope everybody's having a really great Tuesday. So we got a little bit of neck relief right now, and I'm gonna tighten this. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna tighten this up to flatten it out, just to go. I like to make the wood move a little bit. Now I'm gonna check it on the bass side. We have about 4/1000ths of an inch of neck relief right there, and about the same on the opposite side. So this neck is really good shape. And these tiny little moves that I'm making in that truss rod are flattening this baby out so that we can start with a level playing field. Now I want to make sure I don't go too far and make sure that the neck isn't, I don't have underbow in it. Sometimes you'll end up with a little bit of a, especially on these types of guitars, you'll end up with a little bit of a ski slope sometimes. There we go, we're perfectly flat now. That's great. And I can simply double check my my work by, I put a capo on the first fret up there, right? And then I push down here where the neck meets the body, because this part is not bending, right? But all of this will. And so now I know I've got a straight line between that fret and this fret. And I'm going to check the treble side of this. And I still have a little neck relief. So we're going to tighten this up a bit more. So I think the treble side might have a bit more of a bow in it. Yeah, it definitely has a bit more of a bow. So we're gonna, now these frets have not been leveled or crowned or anything by me, although I would love to replace these two frets because this guitar took a hit at some point. I can see that there's a little divot, and when I bend the string over it I can feel it, but it's not bad, so we're gonna call that good. So now that I've moved the neck that far, what I'm gonna do is sit down and get the neck relief proper and measure it, and I'm gonna go for about 8/1000ths of an inch of neck relief on this guitar. So we're gonna, again, I'm gonna loosen the truss rod now to create underbow in the neck. Some people call it relief, some people call it underbow. You say potato, I say potato. Here we go. Giving it, moving it back. Now we'll check our neck relief, and I use these to check the neck relief. This is an 8/1000th. I've been going with a shallower neck relief on guitars recently. Especially in our area, because I'm finding that that seems to be a very good measurement to go by. So 8/1000ths instead of 10/1000ths. It's amazing what a couple thousandths of an inch will do. Jampro, what's happening? Yeah, a bad penny. Good for you. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll definitely subscribe to your channel. I'm a hands-on guitar repairman. Well, God bless you. That's the first time I've heard that from a lady in a long time. I live in the middle of nowhere. This is the worst place in the world to be a single man, I promise. It's a very small town, and so we have a very serious drug and alcohol problem here in our community. And a lot of the ladies around here, I've been single for a long time, a lot of the ladies around here drink a lot, and I'm just not into that. So, not that I'm a completely sober person, but, and I'm just checking each time I make a move with this truss rod to make sure. Now I'm having to move this truss rod a lot further than I had to move it to flatten it out, so I can tell that I've done some good work moving the wood. It's a piece of wood and it will move. Put a piece of wood out on your front porch and let it sit there for, I don't know, a couple months and see how bent it turns out. Y'all be sure to go to my buddy Jamprosound is here. That guy is an absolute remarkable audio engineer and a knowledge base for editing audio, mixing audio, and hearing audio properly. Now, this, I'm hoping that we have a dual action truss rod in this, because I'm already to the point where this truss rod is totally buffalo. Yeah, good for you. Falcro, what's happening, brother? I hope you had fun last night on your stream. I was busy recording. Oh yes, this is a dual action truss rod. That means that the truss rod, and it's astonishing because Gibson won't put these in their guitars, but they'll put them in Epiphone guitars. Now, a dual action truss rod means that when you're loosening the truss rod and you run into that blank area where there's no tension on the truss rod, you can keep going, and then the reverse action will actually bend the neck, will underbow the neck, and if you tighten it, it will flatten it out or bend it backwards. On a Gibson, which is, it's astonishing to me that they build them, and you pay 3 times, 10 times as much. I'll show you a guitar that was easily probably cost 5 times as much as this guitar, that has a single action truss rod. Once the truss rod has been loosened to the point that you can't move it any further, you're done. Your neck is done with any kind of relief. So you can only do so much on a Gibson, and then it is what I consider to be a useless instrument because you can't adjust it any further without putting a new neck on the guitar or changing the truss rod so that you can adjust it. This one has a dual truss rod, and I am really happy about that. I'm having to go a long ways on this. I'm getting there, and you know, these small moves save me from going too far. I want to get this, I want to bow it until we have that perfect underbow, and then we'll check the string action, see how that's doing. I do underbow first, and then I set the string action, and I can tell that this truss rod is starting to get tight now in that direction. It's almost as if, is this a reverse? It just doesn't seem to be moving the neck that far. I've turned this a long ways. Usually it's just small movements on this and the neck moves a long way. This one, I'm having to turn it a lot. I'm going to get aggressive here and do a couple of turns here. Buffalo, yeah. You know, I'm not a completely sober person. I do enjoy having a beer. And welcome to Oregon. You know, we do have some pretty. There we go. Now I've gotten it, and I'm gonna bring it back one small little move here. We're gonna call that good. And oh, come on. There we go. I'm gonna bring it back about it.
Do you ever need this 6-channel?
That guy, and there we go. Okay, let's check the tuning one more time. I'll grab a guitar pick. Snooks, hello, happy Tuesday. Yeah, I am learning. I've been cleaning up some crap. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wednesday or Thursday because they're closed on Fridays.
This has some guck on the back of the neck. Well, now, look what I just did. I just flung that hex key down here.
Okay, that should work. Yes, sir.
And I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. Very lucky. I use 65 Dunlop 65 polishing agent on guitars that I'm cleaning. I'm going to clean the back of this neck. I think there was a little bit of the Simple Green that I use to clean the fingerboard with. Simple Green's a great cleaner for guitars. You just want to be really careful not to leave it sit on the finish for very long, because it can be difficult to get off. Let's see. So Jampro said, I've been cleaning up some crap for my channel. Want to put up some new stuff, but need some ideas of what folks need help with. Yeah, I've been looking for that too. Yeah. Nothing wrong with enjoying a beer for a moment. Yeah. As long everything in moderation. Mineral oil on the fingerboard, yeah. Mineral oil is great. I use it for a lot of years, and I'll tell you the story. I've shared this before, but since we're new friends, I will share this with you. The Rolling Stones played in Portland. I think it was in the really late 80s, like 1987 or so. And we went down to the Oyster Shack with one of my family friends who had spent some time around the band when they were in the States in the 60s, right? He's a older guy. My dad's age. When I say older guy, he's not that old. He's like 80 something. Anyway, the Keith Richards guitar tech walked in, and my friend Bill knew him, and he's like, hey Marshall, that's Keith Richards guitar tech. And I like literally froze. I was like, oh my God, for a kid in 1987, we didn't know much about guitar techs. However, I'd been fixing my own guitars for a long time, so I was pretty starstruck by that. So Bill yelled over at him and said, hey, this is my nephew Marshall, and he's got a question for you. And I was kind of like, what? And I asked him what he used to treat the fingerboards on Keith Richards guitars. And he said, I use linseed oil. He didn't say boiled linseed oil, he just said linseed oil. So at that moment, I started using linseed oil. And I really haven't used much else. I mean, I've had to use mineral oil in a pinch when I've run out of linseed oil, but I haven't used it in many years now, mineral oil. But it's great. It works fine. There's so many different oils you can use on a fingerboard. People call it lemon oil. It's just mineral oil, right? We all know that, I think. So there we go. So the guitar is all nice and clean. We've got good string action. Let's see how this... Now, I've stretched the strings really good, but I'm gonna... Nobody's gonna play guitar like this. So I've knocked, now my low E that was tuned to E is now at D, right? Now my tuner. And this is just a process I go through. I've put strings on so many guitars. And this little bending trick that I'm sharing with you is something that I started doing recently, like within the last year. Because it seems like it helps the strings really settle into the guitar that they're on. Lemon scented pledge. All right, so we've got the strings all stretched and the tension's on the neck, and we've got good neck relief. All right, so the rebirth of this beautiful guitar. And again, we put new electronics in this yesterday, not new pickups. We put new volume and tone controls, and I just pulled the old ones out and put new ones in there. And the tone pots were wired really weird, which I thought was kind of strange, but that's beside the point. And we put a new pickup selector switch in, and I've placed that so that it rotates in that direction. It's very, when you're playing a guitar, it makes it easy to throw that switch. And this is something I think a lot of guitar players forget their guitars have. That, along with the volume knob. When you're done playing, turn the volume off. That way nobody has to listen to your guitar sit there and buzz while you're not playing, right? Yeah. Well, congratulations. You got me beat there, Lucy. Lemons. Please don't use pledge. That is very funny. Okay, so we're gonna check the string action right now. And I like these types of adjustments with these set screws because you can adjust the string action very easily without having to loosen all the string tension and all that. Boy, I might be out of work. That's perfect. I could probably lower it a little bit, but we'll check that here in a moment. Now the treble side is a little bit high, so we're gonna lower the action on this bad boy. Come here. There you are. You want to use the right size screwdriver. Don't use one that's too small, because you will scratch up these posts. Now, okay, so what I'm noticing here is that the slot in this, the straight slot in that is too narrow. So I'm going to have to use a smaller screwdriver, but I'm going to use a rag on this screwdriver. If you do this, you're going to avoid scratching the chrome, right? We don't want to scratch the chrome up, and now you can't see that I did anything to that. Now, there we go. I like 3.5 64ths at the 12th fret on the treble E string and 5 64ths, 4.5 or 5 64ths, so we're going to call that good on the string action. Now, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the pickup height while I'm at it. And these have Phillips drive screws. So, and I'm measuring from the top of the pole piece. And that one, a little bit high. So we're going to drop this pickup down just a hair. And then we're going to go over to the other side. And that one is too low. So we're going to raise this one up just a hair. I like 3/32 on the treble strings and 4/32 on the bass strings, and the reason for that is, if you haven't already found out from the 18 billion other YouTube channels that do guitar setups, except for most of them don't do it live because they don't want to make a mistake. That's far enough away from the strings that your magnets on your pickups won't affect sustain on your instrument. So let's see, we are getting close. And usually if you have to lower one that far, the opposite side will be out of adjustment if you've already adjusted it. So you want to double check everything. And I'm measuring from the top of these pole pieces. Now I know, guys, I have a friend that sets his pole pieces flush with the top of the pickup cover. I haven't ever known. I'd rather have a pickup be a little bit too far away than too close, because I like to hit one note and let it hold instead of 50,000 notes and say nothing. You know what I'm saying? One note can make people cry. 50,000 notes usually is kind of funny. That's just playing style stuff, I think. Yeah, we're looking good now. Okay, intonation check. So we're going to remove the snark. Don't set your intonation up with a snark tuner. Please don't do that. It will get you close, but if you really want good and accurate intonation on your instrument, you need to use a a very high quality, accurate tuner. And I've done this on my channel so many times, but figure why not go live today? Maybe I can make some new friends, meet some new people. All right, so, and also use a guitar cable. Don't use a speaker cable, right? I am using my Peterson Stomp Classic. It probably needs a new battery today. Let's see. Yeah, the battery light is on, but let's see what's happening here. All right, and on a Les Paul, typically what I will do to set the intonation up. Oh, and we also put a metal output jack. It's an output jack. It's not an input jack. I say that every time. It's amazing how many people call it an input jack, and I always ask, well, put some sound in there then. This is the one that was on it, and I noticed that it was cracked, and the owner had said, hey, would you swap that out? The fact that a guitar company will put plastic output jack covers on it is absolutely stunning. It's almost as dumb as not putting a lock washer on the back of a volume knob, but, you know, I don't want to call anybody really dumb, but that's dumb. Okay, I use the neck pickup to set the intonation. Seems like tuners enjoy the level from a neck pickup, the smoothness. That one's good. I might be out of work here. I'm going to set my tuner up here so you can see what I'm up to, and you can see how this tuner works if you've never used a Peterson strobe tuner before. They're really, really cool. I don't recommend using one for live shows. They're a little bit too sensitive, and you know, you'd be up there and your guitar's out of tune, and you'll spend 5 minutes trying to get this thing to stop moving. Not 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying. I'm being sarcastic here. All right, so here we go. And forgive me, I'm not checking this chat right now. I want to stay focused on this thing so I can get her done for this young lady and get it back to her as soon as possible. This is her first guitar. And there's no reason that she should know the difference between a guitar that's not set up right and one that's set up perfectly like this one will be. The best guitar to buy a beginning guitar player is one that's set up properly. And I'm talking intonation, everything. This thing is really intonated really well at this point. Now I can tell that I'm going to have to stretch these strings again. That one's a little bit sharp, and I would rather have a string be flat than sharp, and that's the one that I'm almost out of room, but I'm going to go ahead and try and move that. I may have to flop that saddle around to make up for the space that I don't have here, but we'll see. It doesn't matter what side the screws go on. They'll tell you that at the Gibson custom shop. Okay, so I've moved that saddle back as far as it will go, and I am hoping I'm using the note, and then I use the harmonic at the 12th fret. That's too sharp. I'm gonna boy, that is so close. I think you can see that movie. Amazing how far a guitar will go out of tune just by moving it. I'm pulling it from my bench to down here. I can see. And the other thing is that when you're, so that one's a little bit flat, which is fine. I'm going to move that saddle just the tiniest little bit. So we'll pull that one forward just a hair. And forgive me for not looking at the chat right now, you guys. This is a really important part of this setup. And I have to use my ear. There we go. Okay, so I may have to raise the action on this a little bit. Maybe not. You see, just by bending it like that, I can pull these guitar strings way out of tune. And, you know, as a player, you know, you're probably not going to bend them as aggressively as I just did, but there are definitely times where that is necessary, and you don't want to knock your guitar out of tune doing that. So I like to do that and be a little more aggressive than guys typically, or players typically, would bend a string. Freudian slip. Okay. I'm just playing it here acoustically to hear how it's sounding with the intonation, without any amplifier or any kind of other possible noise-making devices in the way that could cause a pitch shift in it. And okay, so I'm going to take a moment here to take a look at the chat, because this thing's about done. I am going to plug it in and play it a little bit, and I'll turn my amp way down so that my audio isn't blowing people's heads off of being too loud. And I'm going to play a little bit of a solo on it and play a little bit of we'll play a little bit of lead guitar and a little bit of rhythm guitar to see how the thing is holding up. Let's see, Zach, hey, what's up, brother? Oh, Rune, hello. Hey, man, good to see you. You also show compassion in your work. Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. I definitely do. I'll put Jag in with Jag. Yeah, okay. Rune, dude, it's great to see you. Yeah, it's an Epiphone. This Rune, you would absolutely love this guitar. So before I plug this thing in and play it, I wanted to show you all the difference between an Epiphone Les Paul, a few of the differences between an Epiphone Les Paul and a Gibson Les Paul. And there are, construction-wise and strength-wise, Epiphone's got Gibson beat hands down. And we all know the reason for that, and if you don't, you'll find out very soon. But I think this guitar, I'm pretty much done doing the setup on it. Oop, I've got to be careful. Okay, yeah, cool. So the last thing I do whenever I'm working on a guitar, you'll notice I left the strings on here. Don't cut the strings off until you're done. You can thank me for that later. And what you'll do is you get done tuning the guitar up. No, you cut the strings off. then I guarantee you'll have to pull the strings back off. I promise, if you cut them off before you're done, you will have to pull the strings off, especially if your name's Marshall. And having this extra bit of string on these is very helpful if for some reason you have to pull the strings off of the instrument. And believe me, it's happened. And it's happened and at times, I'll give you a reason, because after doing all the work, getting it all set up and all that stuff and doing all that, I found a nick in a fret that I didn't see while I was working on it. Stuff gets by me once in a while, which means I had to pull the strings off to do a fret level and crown on a guitar, and I don't have to throw the strings that I just put on a guitar away. So that's hey Marshall, doing good, practicing guitar right now. Excellent, brother. Yes, killer. Yeah, it stayed in tune. Well, we'll see about this one. I haven't played this one yet much, Rune, and I'm not going to be playing with any backing tracks or anything like that. I'm just going to, because I don't have my audio system here at my shop set up. I'm just using the microphone on this camera. So unfortunately, you guys, my sound is not going to be all that great. But let's see. And one other thing, I'm going to go grab my Les Paul. It's a Gibson Les Paul, and I'll show you the big reason why Epiphone has smoked Gibson in the engineering of their guitar construction. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. But my band got some really great news, and I'll share this with you all. Yeah, because not only do I play on YouTube, I actually play professionally. Get paid pretty good to play music at clubs, and but we were just accepted as the band to play at Klamath Falls Community College in Southern Oregon this year. We are their end of the year party band. So we get to travel all the way to Klamath Falls in late May to play some music for them. And it's really nice because all of us in the band get to get out of town for a day or two and enjoy some time in the southern part of our state, which is just gorgeous. Don't come here, though. This state is terrible. It's too expensive. It rains too much. The people here are really mean, and it stinks a lot here too. You know, it's just, you know. So don't come here. And just fair warning. So yeah, so we're really excited about that. That was really great news. So I've got the truss rod back on it. This thing is all put back together again. So let me go grab my Gibson and I will show you the difference. Let's see. Yeah. Remember to eat, yeah. Thank you. Let's see, brother. Right. For the record, I'm a type 1 diabetic and I eat like a boss. I eat healthier than 99% of the United States population eats. I do eat red meat. I do eat fish. I do eat chicken. I eat lots of veggies. I eat zero sugar, zero carbs, zero fat, not zero, but almost. Low salt. I have perfect blood pressure. My teeth are very healthy. My hair did quit growing a few years ago, so I am getting a bald spot up here. Just for the record, you can see it. It's happening. But I had a really long, beautiful head of hair for a long time, and that stopped when I turned about 45 or so. So yeah, I'm probably healthier than the 99.8% of the U.S. Population, being a type 1 diabetic. So ultimately what that means is that I can't eat sugar. I'm allergic to sugar, and I have to eat very healthy to maintain a good physical my good physical health. I exercise every morning when I wake up. The first thing I do is do some sit-ups and some pull-ups, or push-ups, sorry. I don't do pull-ups. And then I have some free weights that I use every day. And I'm not doing it to bulk up. I'm doing it to keep my heart healthy, to keep the blood flowing and do all of that stuff. So that's why I'm thin. Yeah. And I have to make sure to eat, and I know Rune's flipping me shit because I have to listen to this thing tell me what's going on. And Rune, just for the record, let me see. My blood glucose right now is 132, so it's just a tiny bit high. And I have 0.29 units of insulin in my body working right now, which will get me down to that 100 mark quickly. Zach, I think you might have one of these, right? Love Klamath Fall. Yeah, I can't wait to go there. So there you go. I'm thin, but for a reason. You know, and it's healthy to be thin. It's far less healthy to be obese. I just got to say it. You know, that's probably the #1 killer in our country. It had a lot to do with COVID, if you all remember that fake thing. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. I think the obesity epidemic is tragic, and it's just because most of it's because people overeat, and because of our food system being completely saturated with high fructose corn syrup, fat, sugar, every other type of sweetener that goes into your system, and humans are not made to eat that stuff. So there's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope that makes sense. So, you know, I'm not too biased, but there are a lot of people that are way too heavy that could lose a lot of weight and be a lot healthier if they would just quit eating too much. That's the truth. You know it, and probably should think about that. Because the chances are, you know, that me being thin and having type 1 diabetes, I'm probably going to outlive a lot of my friends, just because it's a blessing in disguise ultimately. Work out every morning, good man. Yeah, you got to get up and get that blood pumping, you know. People, yeah, I hear you. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't pull any punches. I mean, I'm not being rude, but obesity is definitely a terrible, tragic part of the American society that has been glorified. Falcro, I know what you're up to, bro. And you have made some changes in your life. Some people cannot help it. I get it. And in fact, the thyroid gland, I just found that my thyroid was underactive. So I started taking some medication for that. And it was kind of going on a tangent here. I will get the Les Paul soon enough. But they gave me some medication to help my thyroid become active, because I wasn't feeling real great. I was kind of like feeling down all the time, really bummed out. And I take a medication that helps keep my mood steady, which I've needed that. And it helps a lot. And my doc found that my thyroid gland was not active enough. And they gave me medication 1 month ago, literally 2 days ago was my 1 month. I went in and they drew blood from my little teeny vein, which the phlebotomists love me. They have no trouble finding my stuff. And my number went from 0.36 up to 2.11, which is dead center of the great zone to be in on your thyroid. So the medications that I'm taking have helped. So I think part of that also is because, I eat right, and I exercise, and I play music, and I teach, and I love my job. So if you have all of that in combination, things that your doctors will do for you and you put them into action will actually work. Some people take medications and they don't work because they're not healthy enough for the medication to work. Does that make sense? Just like a guitar setup, right? Oh, you don't have a monitor. Yeah, this is a pump. This is I think I showed you this before, but this right here, it's connected right here. I'm going to show off my abs, right? All of this stuff is from taking shots in my stomach for 45 years. But this is my pump, and it does have a little condensation from a shower that I took this morning, so my insulin goes from here to here regularly, and it tells me what my blood glucose is. I'm at 129 right now. There you go. Okay, so let's get the real Les Paul out, and we'll look at the differences between an Epiphone Les Paul, and I know Rune will appreciate this. Because he plays an Epiphone Les Paul. And I don't know, Rune, if you've ever seen my Les Paul, but here it is. I'm going to go, one of them anyway. Let me grab it. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So, Let me put the camera down here. This thing is changing colors over time. So here's an Epiphone Les Paul, and here's a Gibson Les Paul. I know. Yeah, Falcro, I love you too, man. So this is my Gibson Les Paul. It has paid for itself many times over by the amount of money I've made playing it at gigs. I've played this at I don't even know how many shows. But I want to point out the one flaw in Gibson, and it's been like this since 1952 when they first came out. Yeah, just change the necks. That's funny, right? Go ahead, take the neck off of this guitar. I dare you, right? No, I'm not going to do that. But the neck is the problem. This is right here. You'll notice that that's a solid piece of mahogany. Hopefully you can see the wood grain on that. I'm going to turn some light on that might help light this up a little bit better. I don't know how well that light's showing that, but you can see that there's no neck, there's no joint there. So this is a solid piece of mahogany that the wood grain is just going straight through. And what that means is that right here, there's about that much wood grain between the neck staying on, the headstock staying on, and being snapped off. Literally, that's how easy it is. If I was to drop this guitar right now just a couple of feet, the headstock would break, right? So that is the big flaw in Gibson's design of the Les Paul, and they won't fix it. And I've been complaining about that for decades, and so have every other guitar player. So here's what Epiphone does, and we'll see this very clearly on this guitar. They put a scarf joint, so you'll notice right here in this headstock there's a wood joint that comes down and it breaks the grain here, and what that does is it prevents this headstock from being able to snap off so easily. This one also has Grover machine heads on it. So yeah, Rune, that's it's tragic that Gibson won't change that, and for whatever reason they know that their headstocks are just, it's only a matter of one tiny drop and that headstock is going to fall off the guitar, but they won't change it due to nothing more than tradition, even though they know that this is a far superior way to put a neck on a guitar. This is far stronger and far better. So there you go. Aside from that, there's nothing wrong with Epiphone Les Pauls at all. There's actually something wrong with Gibson Les Pauls, and they're way too expensive for what you get. Way too expensive. But hey, I had some money in my pocket. I had to get divorced to buy a Les Paul. Best decision I ever made. All right. Okay, so let's play this thing and see how she sounds plugged in. And then I've got another guitar that I've got to get to today, and we may just move on to that one. So let's see how she sounds. I can hear that I've got good signal. I'm just turning all the knobs up. I don't like these types of top hat knobs on a Les Paul. Woo! See, just moving the guitar like that, that sounds like Stu tuned it. Stu is my journeyman, and he tunes guitars like that for us all the time as a joke. have to adjust my pedal so I don't blow. divorce to get a Les Paul. Yep. Well, and you know, just truth be told, this is the truth. I bought a Gibson SG from a very good friend of mine in 1995 about, and I was playing in a band with my ex-wife. She was a singer, great voice, beautiful. God, she's stunning. Wow, she was hot. All right, I'll just say it. But in about 1997 or 98, she had a little bit to drink one night, got mad at me, of course, which was a normal behavior for her. Oh, and then she accused me of cheating on her, of course, all the time. She's so insecure and had such low self-esteem that was kind of what she did. And so she took my SG and broke the neck off of it and the headstock. But I still remained married to her for another, I don't know, 8 years. But I got the guitar fixed, and I still play it to this day. But, you know, yeah, I had to get divorced to get a Les Paul, right? I'm going to turn this delay off. Now, I hope that this volume of this guitar playing through this amp isn't like super loud. If it is, let me know and I'll turn it down a little bit. Never touch anybody's guitar, man or woman. I don't care who you are. Ask. And if you break it on purpose, I've had other people complain that when I play through my amp, well, one person complained that when I play through my amp it's way too loud, but I don't know if they just have their headphones cranked up. Yeah, this thing is doesn't seem like it's, that doesn't sound in tune. Yeah, this B string keeps slipping on me. I'm not quite sure why, so I'm going to give it a... Did I forget to stretch this one? I maybe forgot to stretch this one. I think I forgot to stretch the B string. That must be what happened. And don't be nice when you're stretching your guitar strings. I'm using the old pinch method. I'm using my thumb and my pointer finger to put pressure on every square inch of that, or every inch. There's not a square inch. Of the string, so that I can get all of the stretch from the bridge all the way to the nut. That way I don't have to deal with it when I'm playing my guitar. Nor will my customer have to deal with having their strings not stretched properly. I may have hurried a little bit when I was stretching them there earlier. Now, this is a really, really important part of putting new strings on your guitar. Probably one of the most important parts. Stretch the hell out of them. Boy, these are moving a long way. I'm not quite sure why. This is weird. this is a 2003. Intonation is really nice. The A chord is always a tough one. That damage on that fret that I had pointed out to the owner of this guitar, he won't let me replace that fret, but you hear how soft that note is. It's because it's fretting out against the fret next to it, and I can't fix that without doing a fret level. So unfortunately, this guitar is going to have to be that way. Thanks you all for hanging with me today. I've got plenty of more work to get to. My guitar is a 2000. My Gibson is a 2010 Les Paul Traditional, which is modeled after the 50s era of Les Pauls. It was a very expensive Les Paul. It's not a custom. It is a Les Paul standard. It's just kind of a step above a Les Paul standard. And in fact, given the pickups that they used in it and the electronic circuit that's in it, they are a little bit, they're just a step above. Not much though, and they still have the dreaded headstock possibility. And it should be made impossible to break one of those, but Gibson won't do it. And congratulations, Gibson, on winning over Dean Guitars to keep affordable guitars out of the hands of children. Yeah, I appreciate that. Tate, holy smokes, dude. Or dudette, I don't know, but thank you. Wow, very kind of you. Wow. You never knew to do that before. They didn't teach me that. What's that, stretching the strings like that? Yeah, Zach, thanks for being here. I've got to get back to some other work. Tate, dude, thank you so much. I hope you're a dude. And I'm going to go check out your channel. And Lucy, thanks for being here. Rune, dude, thanks for stopping in today. You're very welcome, Tate. I don't go live terribly often, but I'm trying to. I'm moving over to TikTok, so we'll see how that goes. You guys, thank you all very much. Tate, again, that is very kind of you. And Independent Many United, thanks for being my mod. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Stu, how goes the battle?